Have you ever stopped to think that the fast food you consider safe, the one you choose precisely because it seems less harmful, might actually be one of the most dangerous traps in your diet? The danger is no longer just in the over-the-top burger or the extra greasy fries. The real danger now hides behind pretty words like natural, artisanal, made to order, and healthy. These are the promises that make millions of people believe they're eating better, when in reality they're sinking deeper into a food system designed to fool your body and soothe your conscience. The big chains discovered that guilt is the biggest enemy of profit. So instead of removing sugar, salt, or fat, they removed the weight on your conscience. They replaced cartoon mascots with elegant wording, loud combo meals with colorful bowls, and sodas with energy smoothies. It's the same product with a different name. The flavor is still irresistible, the chemistry is still the same, and your body is still paying the price. The difference now is that the consumer believes they're in control. This is the new phase of fast food, sophisticated deception. It's no longer about selling indulgence. It's about selling virtue. And the safer a food seems, the more dangerous it becomes, because you consume it frequently, without fear, without guilt, without noticing the impact. The marketing behind these chains is surgical. It doesn't try to convince you to eat badly. It convinces you that you're eating well. Behind the smiles and fresh-looking ingredients, there's precise engineering of flavor, texture, and instant pleasure. Everything is calculated to activate the same reward circuits as addiction, but in a more subtle way. Sugar is swapped for natural syrups. Saturated fat is rebranded as healthy oil, and additives remain there, hidden among technical names that sound harmless. The average consumer doesn't know the difference, and that's exactly how these brands want it to stay. The result is an entire generation that believes it as eating consciously while feeding a cycle of fatigue, inflammation, and dependence. The body feels it, but the brain ignores it. After all, how could something that looks healthy be doing harm? That's the perfect trap. The more confident you feel, the easier it is to be manipulated. And the worst part is that these chains know exactly what they're doing. The real product isn't the meal, it's you. Because, in the end, the true business of fast food isn't selling food. It's selling pleasure disguised as care. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the rest of this investigation. And tell me in the comments, which fast food did you believe was safe until now? For years, Chipotle was the symbol of a fast food revolution. The promise was simple and powerful. Fresh ingredients, real food, total transparency. No mystery additives, no frozen products, no secret formulas. Food with integrity, as the slogan says. That phrase became a modern mantra, and millions of people came to believe they were truly choosing a healthier alternative. But what happens when the brand that claims to be different starts using the same tactics as the ones it criticizes? Chipotle's secret to success lies in appearances. Everything is carefully staged to convey authenticity. The kitchen is open, the ingredients are on display, the customer picks what goes on the plate. That creates a feeling of control and trust. But behind the counter, the logic is the same as any major chain: standardization, speed, and chemistry. Ingredients are prepared on a large scale, shipped in batches, marinated with industrial solutions, and assembled in record time. It's fast food dressed up as an artisanal kitchen. The bowls and burritos that look healthy often hide a staggering calorie load. A single burrito can easily exceed 1,200 calories, with sodium levels close to your entire recommended daily limit. The guacamole, presented as good fat, is combined with huge servings of rice, cheese, and meats seasoned with mixes that contain sugars and additives. Your body reads this combo as an attack, a glucose spike, fluid retention, and inflammation. But the consumer doesn't notice. After all, the meal came in a bowl, not in a greasy cardboard box. Chipotle has mastered psychological play. It doesn't need to lie, it just has to look authentic. Metal utensils, recycled paper packaging, and earthy store tones create an atmosphere of trust. The customer feels they're making a better choice, and that's exactly what makes them vulnerable. When danger comes disguised as virtue, it becomes much harder to see. On top of that, the brand has gone through several contamination scandals in recent years. Cases of bacteria such as E. coli and norovirus revealed that the fresh and natural system was, in practice, a production network with serious sanitation gaps. And even so, the public stayed loyal, because the trust Chipotle built is emotional, not rational. People want to believe there is such a thing as good fast food, and the brand skillfully exploits that hope. Chipotle is the portrait of the new era of consumption, danger dressed up as consciousness. It doesn't just want to feed you, it wants to persuade you. And the more natural it looks, the deeper the deception goes. Because the real seasoning in that food isn't in the sauce or the spices. It's in the sense of superiority it gives you. And that's exactly what makes the poison go down more easily. Panda Express is living proof that even food that looks exotic can follow the same destructive logic as American fast food. With dishes inspired by Asian cuisine, colorful visuals, and sweet, fragrant aromas, the brand became synonymous with modern Asian food. The problem is that what ends up on your tray is very far from the traditional recipes that inspired the menu. Panda Express doesn't sell Eastern culture. It sells an industrialized version of it, adjusted to Western taste and programmed to addict. Each portion is an explosion of calculated flavors, sweet, salty, spicy, and fatty, all on the same plate. This combination is what scientists call the bliss point, the perfect balance for the brain to interpret as maximum pleasure. But your body reads it as chaos. A standard meal at Panda Express can easily surpass 1,000 calories, with sodium levels so high they cause dehydration and bloating within hours. The crunchy texture, shiny sauce, and intense flavor are direct results of deep frying and caramelized sugars. It's the kind of food your body loves in the moment and hates later. The famous orange chicken, the brand's flagship, is the perfect example. Behind its golden look and sweet and sour taste, there's chicken coated in starch and dunked in a thick sauce made from sugar, corn syrup, and artificial coloring. The appearance is irresistible, the smell hypnotic, but the metabolic impact is immediate. Sugar turns to fat, the pancreas is overloaded, and your body goes into a cycle of energy and crash that repeats bite after bite. Panda Express uses the same trick as all different options. It makes the public believe they're getting away from burgers, when in reality they're falling into the same trap, just with different seasoning. Proteins are fried in reused oils, vegetables go through blanching processes that strip nutrients, and sauces are made with thickeners and flavorings that guarantee consistent taste and texture. The result is the same: instant pleasure and slow wear and tear. The most dangerous part is that Panda Express sells itself as real food, and that's the most sophisticated lie of all. It exploits the myth that ethnic cuisines are naturally healthier and turns them into mass-produced products. The consumer walks out believing they made a better choice, when in reality they just fueled the same imbalance they would in any other fast food chain. Panda Express represents the globalization of food addiction. Culture turned into marketing, seasoning turned into bait, and your body turned into a test subject. The trap now speaks another language, but the result is the same: quick pleasure, prolonged fatigue, and a false sense of authenticity that keeps the system running. For years, Subway was sold as the hero of fast food. While other chains flaunted fryers and greasy sauces, Subway showed fresh vegetables, golden bread, and a smiling customer choosing their ingredients. It was the fast food that gave you control, the one that made you believe you could eat well, quickly, and guilt-free. But the truth is that this control was always a carefully staged illusion, a health, performance-hiding a system just as industrial as any other. The bread, for example, is the first disguised villain. That irresistible bakery smell doesn't come from wheat. It comes from a combination of sugars, stabilizers, and chemical additives used to keep the loaf soft and the aroma constant. For years, Subway's bread recipe even included a substance called azodicarbonamide, the same chemical agent used in the production of yoga mats and plastics. Even after the scandal, the brand simply replaced it with lesser-known additives that serve similar functions. The result is the same: Bread that looks good on the outside and promotes inflammation on the inside. And the chicken, the one that looks grilled? It's not exactly what it seems. Investigations have shown that Subway's chicken breast is, in many cases, a blend of processed meat with starch, soy, and artificial flavorings, with less than 50% real chicken. The vegetables, sold as fresh, are chopped and bagged in large facilities, treated with preservatives, and stored for days in controlled refrigeration. The sauces that bring the sandwich to life are full of sugar, salt, and emulsifiers that completely destroy any nutritional balance the marketing promises. Subway's greatest trick is psychological. The brand understood that people want to feel they're making better decisions. By letting the customer build their own sandwich, Subway creates a sense of freedom and control. But every option offered has already been engineered for the same outcome: high calorie density and low real nutrition. It doesn't matter what you pick, white bread, whole wheat, or flatbread, the end result is the same. Your body receives more than it needs and less than you think you're getting. And the worst part is that Subway is still seen as the healthy option at airports, food courts, and rest stops. That reputation makes it even more dangerous. Because, unlike other chains, it doesn't trigger guilt, it triggers pride. People feel good choosing Subway, and that feeling is exactly what keeps the cycle spinning. Subway is the smartest disguise in modern fast food. It doesn't just sell food, it sells the emotional comfort of believing you're doing the right thing. But your body isn't fooled by slogans. It feels. It pays. And every fit bite is just another step along the same path traditional chains paved decades ago, the path of instant pleasure and slow imbalance. If this kind of revelation made you rethink what eating well really means, share this video with someone who still believes Subway is healthy. And tell me in the comments, have you ever chosen a sandwich thinking you were taking care of your health and later discovered it was just marketing? Starbucks pulled off something very few brands on the planet have achieved, turning a simple cup of coffee into a symbol of identity. The green logo became status, routine, and for many, an extension of personality. Drinking Starbucks turned into a sign of productivity, self-care, even success. But behind this modern, sophisticated ritual lies a system of biochemical manipulation just as powerful as that of any fast food chain. Starbucks doesn't sell coffee. It sells a carefully designed cycle of pleasure and exhaustion. Most of the brand's drinks have more sugar than a full dessert. A medium frappuccino, for example, can easily exceed 400 calories and pack more than 50 grams of sugar, about 12 teaspoons. The combination of caffeine and sugar creates an illusion of instant energy. Your brain gets stimulated, your body reacts, and dopamine rushes in, giving you that sense of focus and well-being. But the effect is short-lived. As soon as the sugar is absorbed, your energy plummets and your fatigue returns twice as strong. The customer then does exactly what the brand expects. They come back the next day looking for another cup of relief. Even the drinks that seem lighter hide traps. Skinny lattes, iced coffees, and flavored teas rely on artificial syrups, emulsifiers, and chemical sweeteners that trick your body. They don't nourish you, but they trigger the same pleasure pathways as sugar. That creates metabolic confusion. Your brain believes it got energy, but your body is still running on empty. The result? More hunger, more anxiety, and more desire to repeat the dose. Starbucks is a master at turning addiction into a socially accepted habit. The brand convinces you that the drink is a reward, a moment of self-care. You deserve this coffee, the ads say. It's the same emotional trick traditional fast food uses, turning instant pleasure into routine. But the impact on your body is the same: chronic inflammation, liver overload, constant fatigue, and chemical dependence on sugar. The cozy environment, your name on the cup, and the rich aroma are all part of a carefully staged performance. It's the mask of comfort hiding the cost of addiction. The customer feels at home while their body fights a silent battle against excess glucose and caffeine. And it's this contradiction that makes Starbucks so powerful. It convinces you it's taking care of you while actually conditioning you. Coffee, once a symbol of awakening and focus, has become the fuel for a cycle of tiredness disguised as productivity. What should energize you drains you. What should reconnect you exhausts you. What should feed the mind wears out the body. Starbucks created the perfect product for the modern world, sweet enough to comfort, strong enough to fool, and addictive enough to bring you back tomorrow. Panera Bread is the kind of brand that seems incapable of causing harm. The cozy decor, warm lighting, smell of fresh bread, everything about it communicates comfort and balance. It's the fast food for people who see themselves as different, who reject greasy burgers and look for something lighter, more artisanal, more real. But the truth, when you look closely, is that behind the healthy appearance lies the same industrial structure as any other chain. Panera isn't an exception. It's the evolution of the trap. The menu talks about clean food, simple ingredients, and no artificial preservatives. Words that sound reassuring but rarely match what's actually on your plate. The creamy soups that look light and nourishing contain very high amounts of sodium, saturated fat, and sugar. The salads, marketed as balanced options, come loaded with sugary dressings and ultra-processed cheeses. And the bread, the heart of the brand, is made with highly refined flours and emulsifiers that extend texture and flavor, the opposite of the artisanal promise. What makes Panera so efficient is its subtlety. The consumer walks in believing they're making a conscious choice, and that belief shields them from guilt. That feeling of virtue is the real product the brand sells. When someone buys soup or a sandwich at Panera, they're not just buying food. They're rebuying a story, that it is possible to eat fast food and still be healthy. It's a fantasy of balance built with psychological precision. The fresh-looking ingredients on display, the glass bowls, the recyclable packaging, everything is designed to generate trust. But your body doesn't care about design. Excess sugar and salt cause the same glucose spikes and hormonal imbalances as any other chain. The effect is just slower, more silent, and, for that very reason, more dangerous. Panera is the new face of the food industry. Guilt solved. It's not the fast food that admits its excesses. It's the one that pretends it doesn't have them. Consumers believe they're avoiding the problem, when in reality they're running straight into it by a more elegant, more emotional route. That's the most modern and effective trap of all, the one that makes you believe the poison is the antidote. And that's exactly why Panera has become such a phenomenon, because it doesn't sell food. It sells peace of mind. In a world where everyone is exhausted and overloaded, peace of mind has become the most valuable seasoning there is. The problem is that it doesn't come free. It comes covered in sugar, wrapped in recycled paper, and served with a smile your body will take a long time to digest. Smoothie King looks like the complete opposite of traditional fast food. Colorful cups, fruit in the logo, words like energize, balance, and recharge, printed everywhere. And that's the kind of place that makes you believe you retaking care of your body while cooling off. But behind the fitness talk and healthy design lies one of the food industry's most subtle traps: liquid sugar. Smoothie King doesn't sell nutrition, it sells the illusion of wellness. The promise is simple: vitamins, energy, and natural flavor. The problem is what actually goes inside the cup. Many of the brand's smoothies contain more sugar than a regular soda. A single drink can top 80 grams of sugar, about 20 teaspoons. And that's before you count syrups, natural sweeteners, and processed proteins added for thickness and texture. It feels refreshing, but what your body receives is a violent glycemic load that spikes insulin and floods you with energy before dropping you hard. It's the same pleasure and crash cycle traditional fast food has mastered for decades. Your body is tricked. It feels temporarily refreshed, but minutes later exhaustion hits. The difference is that Smoothie King does it more elegantly, more cleanly, more convincingly. The bright colors and health language silence suspicion. The customer returns believing they're doing something good for themselves. Even the healthy options aren't safe. Versions with plant protein, peanut butter, oats, or plant-based milks often come with artificial sweeteners and industrial thickeners. These combos maintain the sweet flavor and creamy texture, but without the nutritional balance your body needs. Your brain, conditioned to sugar's pleasure, interprets these drinks as good. Your metabolism, on the other hand, goes into meltdown. The result is a dependence cycle dressed up as self-care. The most impressive part is how the brand as marketing has learned to speak the language of the modern consumer. Words like energy, performance, immunity, and protein have been hijacked by advertising and turned into emotional triggers. People looking for health end up with a liquid placebo that reinforces the same consumption patterns they were trying to escape. Smoothie King is the perfect mirror of the new fast food. Pretty, clean, colorful, and as destructive as any greasy combo. The difference is that here, sugar comes disguised as care, and that disguise is what makes it so dangerous. If this kind of revelation opened your eyes, share this video with someone who still believes every smoothie is healthy. And tell me in the comments, have you ever drunk something thinking it was good for your body and later discovered it was pure chemistry? Blaze Pizza presents itself as a revolution in fast casual dining. Pizza made your way, baked to order, with fresh, natural ingredients. It has the perfect promise for a public tired of greasy fast food and skeptical of traditional chains. The brand was born from the idea of combining speed and authenticity, the dream of anyone who wants to eat well but doesn't want to wait. But behind the stone oven and the customizable menu lies the same old trick, turning excess into style. The experience starts with the customer choosing each ingredient, which creates a sense of freedom and control. It looks healthy, it feels conscious. But a quick look at the numbers reveals the trap. A personal Blaze Pizza can easily pass 1,200 calories, depending on your mix of sauces, cheeses, and crusts. The problem is that nearly all the available options, even those that seem light, are ultra-processed. The doughs are made with refined flours and cheap vegetable oils. The sauces contain sugar and stabilizers. And the cheeses, which should be simple, carry emulsifiers and flavorings. Blaze understands the power of appearance. The visible oven, the flames, the smell of baking dough, it all creates the illusion of authenticity. But what happens there isn't artisanal cooking, it's staged production. The crusts arrive pre-made and frozen, and are finished quickly just to give the impression of freshness. Speed is the real key ingredient, and it's only possible because of the same standardization every fast food chain relies on. The personalization pitch is the new marketing of addiction. The brand convinces you you're in control, while offering options designed for the same outcome: intense pleasure and chemical imbalance. The flavors are calibrated to hit the bliss point, that balance between salt, fat, and sugar your brain recognizes as pure pleasure. It's the same burger principle, now wearing artisanal dough. Even worse, unlike the traditional chains, Blaze Pizza positions itself as a superior choice, a symbol of good decisions that wipes away guilt and makes consumption more frequent. Your body, however, doesn't buy the story. It feels the same glucose spikes, the same sodium overload, the same bloating and fatigue. The brain believes in freedom. The metabolism pays the price. Blaze Pizza is the portrait of modern fast food. Fast, attractive, emotionally convincing. It doesn't need to trick your palate, just your conscience. Because in the end, the real product isn't the pizza. It's the feeling that you're in charge. And when the customer believes they're choosing freely, the system has already won. Dunkin' is one of the oldest and most adaptable fast food brands in America. For decades, it was synonymous with donuts, colorful displays, sugary glazes, and huge coffee cups. But over time, that image started to weigh on the brand. The public wanted something more mature, more balanced. So Dunkin' did what the market does best. It changed its look, not its essence. It dropped the word donuts from the name, modernized the logo, and rebranded itself as a practical, urban, no-fuss coffee spot. But the chemical formula behind the addiction remains exactly the same. Dunkin's secret has always been the balance between sugar and caffeine, a powerful combination that stimulates the brain and creates dependence. Caffeine revs you up, Sugar rewards you. It's a cycle of pleasure and exhaustion that repeats daily with a cruel detail. Your body doesn't realize it's trapped. With every sip, dopamine is released, your nervous system is triggered, and your brain learns to associate that sweet taste with feeling good. When the effect fades, fatigue sets in and your body wants more. It's the same mechanism as softer drugs, disguised as coffee for the office. Most Dunkin' drinks are liquid desserts. A simple flavored latte can carry more than 300 calories and nearly 50 grams of sugar. Frappes, macchiatos, and iced coffees easily exceed the recommended daily sugar limit. Even the sugar-free options use artificial sweeteners that trigger similar insulin responses and keep the addiction cycle going. And the donuts, still the brand as icon, are bombs of trans fats and refined flours, designed to melt in your mouth and leave your brain begging for another. Dunkin's genius is in rewrapping guilt. It doesn't promise health. It promises convenience. Grab your coffee and go live your life. It's a simple, efficient, almost moral message. The customer feels they're doing what they have to do, moving, working, being productive. But your body, overloaded with daily sugar and caffeine, is actually in survival mode. This is the modern routine, exhaustion fueled by chemical stimulation. What used to be a brand of colorful donuts became a symbol of quick energy. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Dunkin' learned to hide behind the rush. People don't stop to think about what they're consuming. They just grab it, drink it, and move on with their day. And that's how addiction sustains itself. Silent, convenient, socially accepted. In the end, Dunkin' doesn't sell coffee. It sells emotional fuel. The cup is the same, the liquid is the same, but the context changed. The marketing matured, the audience became more sophisticated, and the addiction was refined right along with it. The name got shorter, but the impact stayed long. Sugar and caffeine remain the perfect duo for keeping your body tired and their profits steady. After getting to know these 10 chains, one thing is obvious. The problem isn't fast food itself. It is what it has become. The brands evolved, changed their look, swapped their messaging, but kept the same goal: sell pleasure and hide the consequence. McDonald's, Subway, Starbucks, Panera, Chipotle, Dunkin', Smoothie King, Blaze Pizza, Panda Express, all of them follow the same invisible logic. They create products that don't have to be good for your body, as long as they're convincing for your mind. The real secret ingredient isn't in the kitchen, it's in the marketing. These chains learned to exploit something far more powerful than taste: trust. They study how your brain reacts to flavor, color, texture, the sound of a wrapper opening. They know salt comforts you, sugar calms you, fat rewards you. They know exactly how much your body can take before it starts to complain, and by the time it does, you're already stuck in the cycle. It's dopamine, not hunger, that takes you back to the line. The new generation of fast food doesn't sell indulgence, it sells virtue. It's the sandwich that looks light, the artisanal pizza, the fit smoothie, the sophisticated coffee. All with the appearance of balance, all with the taste of control. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Because when the trap comes disguised as conscious choice, the consumer doesn't defend themselves, they participate. With every meal, they reinforce the system that deceives them. The most ironic part is that the industry doesn't have to lie. It just shows you what you want to see. While you're looking for well-being, the market delivers emotional convenience, and your body quietly absorbs the effects: fatigue, inflammation, dependence. The addiction is sweet, discreet, and constant. And the more you believe you're safe, the more vulnerable you become. But the truth is, you can still break the cycle. It all starts with how you see things. Question what seems normal. Doubt what's sold as healthy. Eating consciously is more than a choice. It's an act of resistance. Real pleasure doesn't need a disguise. It comes from balance, not excess. And the sooner you understand that, the harder it becomes for the industry to control you. If you've made it this far, it's because you don't want to be manipulated anymore. So take advantage of this moment. Subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss the next video. It's going to show you even darker secrets about what we eat every day. Leave a like if this video made you see fast food differently, and comment, "I woke up to the truth, so I know you stayed until the end." And if you want to keep uncovering what else the industry hides, the next video is already on the screen.